Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my journey to becoming a profitable trader on the Nasdaq Futures. I am currently on an evaluation with the prop firm Trade Day to become a funded trader. And today we're going to discuss the most important trading indicator that you probably aren't using right now. So let's get into how this session went. Now, we are about a minute away from the open, and we are about to create our blue lines to show the top and the bottom of where we currently are. So you can see in this wide angle that we are currently in consolidation. We've talked the last couple of days about the difference between consolidation and being directional. And this is the best, look at this. This is the best example of consolidation that we've had up to this point. In a very perfect world, at 8:32 when I would start trading, we would do right what that candle's doing right now. Now see, it bounced up out of it. So you would assume, since it broke through the previous high, that it would continue to break through. And here we are. I'm going back to looking at the new chart that I established today, and that is using the VWAP intraday indicator that I have, that purple line. Instead of having it start at 6 p.m. the day previous, which is when the trading session starts, I had it start at the market open to see if that gives any more reliable data. So that one's just for reference. It'll be something that I'll need to back test. And you can see that we still stayed in consolidation. That one that broke through, I didn't realize it, but that was right when the market opened. So that was why we were having that up and down motion. Now, we will start to get into that important indicator. So if you are looking at these candles, you would assume that they are fairly close together. But if you look off to the right side here, when you see the point values, you realize that these points are actually fairly far apart. And that's why ATR is so easy and so important. We like to trade when the ATR is below 12. And that's something that I feel like we get to around 8:36 in the morning, usually, Central Time. Right now, we are at 20 points a candle. So how do you create ATR like that? ATR normally is in 14. It's set to 14, meaning it's taking an average of the last 14 candles. That's not something I care about. I just want to be able to glance down to the ATR, and instead of doing the math on the side here, I want to be able to see, what is this candle worth right here? This candle is worth 20 points, which is insane, and I'm not going to be touching it. But when you look at the chart itself, it looks like everything's moving in a very small level, and it's not. It's jumping around like crazy. The most that I've seen in weeks, honestly, in terms of volume and volatility. We're breaking out of this, but if my stop loss is 2.5 points, the odds that it going to 5 points without going down just a smidge, like I'm gonna end up getting in and then getting out before the screen even realizes what's going on. And as a spoiler, this is another lost day. It's a day where my win should have been just not trading, but that's not what happened. It's 8:33 now, so we are in the time window when I normally would allow myself to trade. And we have a candle that's down to 13.25 points. So mentally, I'm thinking, all right, we're starting to cool down, and there's another 21.75 point candle right here. That's huge. And we're also clearly out of this consolidation that we were in previously. But we're going back down Here was an upward trend that moved downward. If this downward trend is real, it'll bounce off this already established line, just like that, and then start to head down again. But as you can see, this blue line now might not be accurate because this hasn't been seen in our trading screen. So it might be better to move it up here, which is almost where we're at, and maybe we'll bounce off here and here for a while, which doesn't look like a lot of space. But remember, that's a 16-point candle. So this is almost 20 points in this area right here. We're bouncing off again. So it's a very strange day because there's not a lot of movement in terms of the chart as a whole. Like, we're staying within this area, but the candles are huge. We're down to a 7, and then, you know, normally at this time, 7 would look like a normal candle. Now we're waiting to see, maybe we'll break out right here. And what I think I might want to do is I think we're going to switch over, because I keep my account on the sim account just in case I hit a button and enter a trade I don't want to. So if I'm ever not trading, I get off my evaluation account and move to the sim account. Now I'm seeing a new type of consolidation. You can see that it's moved up a little bit, so we are moving our blue lines accordingly. Here we go. See, we're breaking through again. See, now it's really looking like that upward direction, but that moving average, that purple line, look, it bounced right off. See how many? We'll see how many points that ends up being. 3, 2, 1. 12 points. So again, we're like, that candle would have been the maximum that I would have dealt in. See this candle, you can already tell it's too big just by comparing it to the red candle that came before it. I'm really thinking that it might bounce off. We're just going to get a look at the wider angle to see the scope of what is happening today. And I'm getting a little antsy here. I just need to get better at being okay and not taking a trade. That today I lost another $100, so it would have been a win not to take that trade. We're gonna hope this bounces off this blue line, I think, and go long. We'll see. It's breaking through a lot, maybe too much. It looks like it might be. You just can't decide what it wants to do, but we're still having 13.75 candles. It's very rare that I'm not taking a trade yet. Now we're gonna try and go with the trend, I think, and continue to ride this down at least until the first blue line down here. But we're also, you can tell that there's some resistance right here. And we are in and out. Did you see that? That was so fast. And that is because this candle ended up being a 21-point candle. So it wasn't necessarily a bad trade. That one's one I'm not necessarily mad about. It was, you know, we were messing down. If you look down here, we were at 7 and 8. That's exactly where I want to be. And then it just decided that it's going to have a 21-point candle. So there's nothing you can do about that. except realize that today is not the environment that I should be trading in, or just mess around on my sim account. But we are me from the future, so that is not what happened. Now, this is something where it has not gotten to this level. Even in pre-market, we are at the high of the trading session. So what I'm thinking is, because it just keeps trekking up, that it might be a good idea to take another trade going long. But these candles are too big. Stop it. And in and out. So that is why ATR is so important. You're not even going to be able to have time to read how if you were in the green at all. So we've switched over to our sim account now, and immediately we are going to get a win, I believe. Can't remember offhand. Yep, there we go. See, so I had the right idea, right, where it was going to bounce off of that that moving average, but now I honestly shouldn't even won that one, because look, that's another 22-point candle. So that one's, I mean, the theory's good, but it's just not the conditions you should be trading in. So everyone has their own style, and that's why backtesting is so important. I know that I shouldn't be trading today, or just trading on my sim account and getting more data that way. But my brain says I need to work, and work means placing trades in my head, which is not real. Well, we still got a couple of minutes left, but feeling pretty annoyed at myself at this point. And remember, we don't trade past 8:43 because there might be news that comes out at 8:45 Central Time, and that'll just really make everything go crazy. Looking at the wide view here, I mean, there's just such long candles of consolidation, and it has been in a more upward trajectory since about 8 in the morning, but we are at the high of this trading session still. Moving down now, but if you're looking at the trading session as a whole. Now we're looking at our new angles, the new intraday VWAP starting point, which will be getting more data through time. So we'll see. Now remember, these lines, they shouldn't be automatic go and stop signals, because if you're directional and you hit it, you got to assume that it's going to keep being directional. But if you're in consolidation, it's a great area to go on and off of. So yeah, I think that's about going to do it today. Lost $100 on my trading evaluation and ended up losing $10 on the sim account. So still more learning to be had, but I will see you guys tomorrow, where I'll continue documenting my trading journey so that you know you're not alone in yours. Thanks again for watching.